Hello, kindergartners. Well, this week in math, we're learning about measurement. And one of my favorite ways to learn about ideas in math is actually by reading. Doesn't that sound funny to think that we can learn about math by reading? To be honest with you, in school, reading was a little bit easy for Mrs. Finkel, but math was very hard for Mrs. Finkel. And one of the things I found out is sometimes using the things that are easier for you to understand things that are hard for you helps you kind of move along in your understanding. And math was definitely hard for me, to say the least. So whenever I get a chance to read a book about math, it was something I could enjoy doing with math and feel like I was learning something. So today I want to share with you one of my math stories. I actually have quite a few of them. I hope we get to read them in the next couple weeks. And this one is called The Long and Short of It. You see these legs? Those are some long legs. Here's some short legs. All right, let's find out what we can learn about math from this story. This is written by Cheryl Nathan and Lisa McCourt. No two animals are alike. Some have long parts and some have short parts. But their differences are what make them special. We say that about people too, don't we? That our differences make us special. Take the ring-tailed lemur, for instance. Its tail is longer than a skateboard. But a Boston Terrier's tail is shorter than a half-used black crayon. See those comparisons? The long lemur tail and the short tail belonging to the Boston Terrier. And who can grow its beak longer than a banana? A toucan can. A chicken has a beak too, but guess what? Its beak is as short as a grape. Look at that comparison. The long toucan beak and the short chicken beak. Those beaks are designed for eating different foods, aren't they? An elephant's trunk can grow longer than a car trunk, even longer than some whole cars. But I bet you didn't know about the other animal that has a trunk. It's the tiny elephant shrew with a trunk as short as a broken toothpick. Now that is a big difference. Look at that. A giraffe makes a good friend because it'll really stick its neck out for you. And its neck is as long as your bedroom door. Do you know what it means to stick your neck out for someone? It means that you'll kind of take a risk for somebody. Zebra necks are shorter than chair legs. They still have a neck, but they're much shorter than the long giraffe neck. So that giraffe can use its long neck and long tongue to reach high up into trees to eat the leaves. And the zebra can use its neck to bend down to the grass and eat the grass. Can you imagine having fingers as long as hot dogs? Well, orangutans do. But the giant panda's little fingers are shorter than yo-yos. Look at that. What a big difference. Reindeer have long antlers, longer than your arms, stretched out as wide as you can stretch them. Mountain goats' horns are as short as carrots. Again, look at how long these are, how short those horns are. Could you fit an aardvark snout in your lunchbox? Nope, too long. And why would you want to anyways? But a pig's snout would fit. It's shorter than your thermos. A snout. Yeah, that's like the area by the nose. The snout. peacock's feathers are as long as jump ropes, but not as much fun to play with. Their feathers, the feathers on the top of a cockatiel's head, are as short as inchworms. Look at those cute little feathers. And look at these long, beautiful, ornate feathers. Very fancy. The longest hair a person ever grew was almost 14 feet, as long as a seesaw. Can you imagine how long it would take you to get that washed and braided? Yikes, that's long. The little hairs on the top of a Magabie monkey's head are shorter than the bristles on your toothbrush. It's kind of like Tommy's hair right now is very short. Yeah, he didn't wait for the barber to open back up. We kind of had a hair oops at our house. Not a good idea. If you dance with a kangaroo, don't let it step on your toes. Kangaroo feet are longer than whole watermelons. Your foot is probably shorter than a carton of milk. Your feet are growing though, aren't they? Are the shoes that Mom or Dad got for you in the beginning of the school year getting kind of tight and squishy? Yeah, sometimes by the time spring comes, you need new shoes, even if they're not worn out, because sometimes your feet have grown so much they don't fit anymore. If you had to live in prehistoric days, you'd have seen huge woolly mammoths running through your backyard. Their tusks were as long as playground slides and even more curvy. Some walrus tusks are as short as drinking straws. I think I'd go for the shorter tusks. These seem like they'd be exhausting to carry around. Don't stick your tongue out at a chameleon. Its tongue is as long as its whole body, and that's longer than a fire hydrant. A raccoon's little tongue is as short as a stick of gum. Look at how cute it is there. Looking like it's going for a little treat there or something. Maybe some kind of insect. And don't tell secrets to a crocodile. What a big mouth. Its toothy grin is longer than your pillow. I don't know if I like thinking about a crocodile mouth by my pillow. But this bottlenose dolphin's mouth is as short as a pencil. Look at that. If you look for them, you'll find long parts and short parts everywhere. And that's the long and short of it. Here we go. So they kind of did a little play on words, didn't they? The long and short of it. It's kind of like the whole story when we say that's the long and short of something. In this story, we were talking about comparing the length of things using the words long and short. Could you say long, longer, longest? You could compare with those words. I could say, my daughter Mary has long legs, but Gracie's legs are longer. And then I could say, Naomi's legs are the longest of all. See how I compared them using those words? All right, here's a funny one for you. I could say, Mary thinks she is short, but Gabriel is even shorter. But nowadays, Mrs. Finkel is about the shortest of all. That's kind of a sad comparison, isn't it? All right, boys and girls, see if you can try out those words comparing and contrasting things in your house or in your world. All right, have fun trying.